option to go live?
What option to go live?
So shouldn't you have an option to go
Mm-hmm.
Where is it?
It's on my phone. It's not on the computer.
Oh, it's not on the computer. So the computer don't give option.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Sis K, the option to go live may only be on the phone and not the computer.
See if you can join with your phone, Sis K. We might have fixed the solved the little problem.
Okay, she said no green icon from my phone. She wants to see if it'll work on her personal page. Okay.
Okay. Try for your personal page, sis. If not, we're gonna go ahead and put you on speakerphone. Because our sisters are anxious. They want some of these jewels, honey. We want to know how to eat right.
Yes.
We want to know how to manage our businesses. We want to know what things to look for when we're courting, honey. We know you got some jewels for us, sis. So, yes.
Yes, she definitely got some nuggets. She do, man.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll give it a few more minutes, y'all. Come on in here. Go ahead and share the video so other sisters can know in the chat. You know, of course, in the She Listens. You know, just like, let's just bring awareness. Let sisters know that we are live right now. If you want to like the video, that'll be awesome.
Oh, and don't forget, the first two sisters that asked Sis K a question, you will be getting a She Listens clutch. Now, this is one of our glasses. We're not selling anything. We're just going to be giving things away to sisters. That's all. We're all about charity here. So we're going to be giving two She Listen clutches away today. It's the first episode. You can't have a first episode without freebies.
Yes.
So of course. And if you ever been to a She brunch, let's get back on these brunches. You know all about freebies, right?
Mm-hmm.
We give away a lot of good goodies there. Sisters come. But they do not leave empty-handed at all. They got bags when they leave.
I actually wanted a few of the bags.
I know. I kind of wanted some of the stuff. If y'all sisters see this, you know.
Okay. I think we're going to go ahead and call Sis and let us know. Okay, so Sis K, we will just call you. She does not.
She was up there? Oh, she was up there. Okay. She just went away.
So it said you actually was up there. She said, "Oh, so I'm gonna be the first." Okay.
Huh?
It's not Ann because it looked like you were just up there.
It went away.
It went away.
She said there was no ad up there.
It don't say ad on.
Cause she on the I think she on the business page. It's okay. Sis K, you want us to just go on and call you on the phone? Because you know we going to make it do what it did.
Yes.
We not going to let the enemy win this one. That's one thing that she is strong is...
Okay, how the quality looking? Because it looks like it's freezing right here. I just want to know, is everything looking good with the quality of the video? Okay, looks like the quality is...
What she said, I went live from the She page.
Okay.
She Listens group. All right, 2 more minutes, sisters. That's right, Kanai. Tell her them clutches, boy. Yes. And nothing like some freebies. But yeah, then again, she said we're gonna go ahead and call Sis K, okay? We want to go ahead and get the show started. We want to get some questions in, some jewels dropped. So let's see if we can get her on the speakerphone. And when we get her up here, y'all tell us if y'all can hear her, okay?
Also, too, where is charge?
It's right in front of you. You have to plug in the other end. You got on speakerphone?
Sis.
Shalom, can you hear me?
Yes.
Let's see if the
we
if
can
the
hear
sisters
you. Let's
can
see
hear
if the
you.
sisters can hear you.
Can y'all hear Sis K?
Can we get a thumbs up if you can hear Sis? Your phone is loud. I sure can hear it.
I sure can hear you, sis.
I can hear you loud and clear. But let's see if everybody else can hear you.
Talk a little bit,
They
sis.
can't hear me. You know, I'm from the South, so this is too.
Oh, they go hear. They gonna hear you, ain't the sis?
Okay, all praises. They said they can hear.
Let you introduce yourself, because you know if I gotta introduce one of my very first sisters in this truth, I probably be talking for a long time about you here. So go ahead and introduce yourself, sis.
All right, not a problem. Shalom to my beautiful sister. My name is Kalaya Israel. I am the owner of Kalaya Jewels To Healing. First and foremost, I am a servant of Christ, the Most High, and I'm a wife. I've been married for 13 years. I'm a mother of 3. I'm a homeschool teacher. All the above, y'all. I'm just, most high saw fit. As the scriptures say, he would never put more on you than you can bear. So I am from Mississippi. I currently reside in Jackson, but I am from the Delta of area in Mississippi. It's called Greenwood, Mississippi. I am a twin sister.
Ooh.
A good little fun fact of my twin. She and I had our first child on the same day. I had a girl and she had a boy. And I think that's just it. I ain't gonna be long on who I am, because I really want people to see Christ in me. It's not about me. So just give y'all a rundown. I am in Mississippi, and I'm ready to start, guys.
All praises, sis. Well, thank you for joining us.
Yes.
We are honored to have you up here, sis.
Yes, absolutely, sis.
All praises.
All praises. And we really, it's so many things. We don't want to overwhelm you with so many topics, but just even in your introduction, you touched on the point of you own your own business. And if any sisters know or familiar with Kalaya Jewels To Healing, that is a health alkaline based plant-based business that sis is referring to. And sis, you referred to being a mother of 3 and a wife of 13 years. So what can you tell the sisters about your journey coming into this truth, and then not only coming into this truth as a mother and a wife, but then transitioning to this walk as a Hebrew woman?
Okay, just reflecting on my walk in the beginning, it's amazing. You have to really open yourself up to this truth. You literally have to open yourself up to the truth, because I could just take in the beginning of my journey, I actually had the hardest time for me was being submissive. It wasn't the pants, it wasn't the eating, the lawful foods. It was the submissiveness that I had to actually learn how important that was, and I had to learn to shred off how I was raised as a melanated woman. So even in the beginning in this truth, I actually, for me, coming out of the world, I was always been one a little hot-headed. I had the persona, you can't tell me nothing. I'm independent. I know who I am. But when you actually pick up these laws and you start applying, I had to actually come to the realization I didn't know who I was. I didn't really know my role as a wife. I didn't know my role as how what it really takes to be a wife. I know Yannisai, you and I always talk about how I used to be in the truth out in the world, and I never had that from neither my sister, because never be afraid of who you were in the past, because this a part of that is going to make who you are now.
Yeah.
Now, sis, I don't want to cut you off, but you just made a great point. And I want our sisters to know that, that's the one thing that we're trying to push here at She. We don't want our sisters to be afraid, ashamed, discouraged, embarrassed, saddened about your past. Because, honey, you will use those steps, you will use those stones, you will use those bricks that you're bringing, and you will be building a new foundation, a new person. What they say, you are born anew. So what she said is, that's like a key point. a lot of us, we like Lot's wife. We keep replaying those things in the back. We keep replaying where we used to be. Nah, baby, it's time to move forward, sis.
Yes.
So listen to these words. This sis is very wise. She's very wise. Sorry, sis, I didn't mean to cut you off, but you had a good little nugget right there.
So let me ask you, what do you think was you mentioned being submissive, and I know that, that is a struggle, in the truth, and it's just a struggle, like you say, because we have been programmed to be in a certain way, and I like to think that, a lot of people say, meekness is weakness, but of course we know that is a lie. We know that is really our real strength when we can submit, so can you kind of elaborate on like what was it really about the concept of being submissive, because we really want to kind of debunk some of those falsies about being a submissive wife. So what was it about it that you kind of struggled with the concept of?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me kind of I don't want to take you guys too fast, but I want to give y'all a good overview of how I actually came into the truth.
Yes.
Me being who I was and how my upbringing, like I said, the independent type of persona that I put up, I didn't need a man, this and that. Okay. Having people tell me all of my life, man, you're so strong, or this and that. That is a fear that put this, people don't allow people to put fears on you. You control that, to a point where before coming to this truth, I remember just like it was yesterday, my husband and I, it was like we was really like roommates. It was like he was getting in the truth, he was coming to the knowledge who we were. I can remember him, a lot of books, spread it out on the table in the kitchen. He's staying up to 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. My first thing, like, man, this man lost his mind. Ain't no way. There's no way, man, you lost your mind, So I remember telling him, hey, I'm gonna do me, you gonna do you. I'm gonna go to this Sunday church. I'm gonna keep dragging my baby girl to the church. And it wasn't until one particular day we got into an verbal altercation, and these were my exact words. I don't need a man. I don't need you. I don't need you. I don't need you. I don't need you. Of course, the scripture, there's so many accounts in the scripture we really can see where the Most High tests us on our words, okay? So, with that being said, he tested me on that. He removed my husband from our home in the event where it took him to actually get incarcerated, okay? Incarcerated for 3-4 months, and it felt like 40 years to me.
Wow.
40 whole years to me, and I actually, that was my test. That was my test to a point where I now realize while he was out of the home, man, I need my husband. Mm-hmm. I need my husband. I need his spirit. I need his leadership. I need his patience. I need his love. I can't do this by myself, So with him being incarcerated just those 3-4 months, he was always sending letters with scriptures. Hey, you read this. Plant those seeds to me. Read this. And I really wasn't hearing it up until one point. I was in North Carolina and I was traveling, and I heard a song on the radio, and it started speaking to my spirit. A song was talking about the truth and whatnot. So I was starting doing my own research, and I can remember it was like love at first sight. My husband called me from jail, and I said I would not let him get no word out. When I asked to accept that call, I can remember me saying to him, I got it.
All praises.
And he was like, what you mean you got it? I said, I got it now. I know who I am. You know what I'm saying? Wow. And being just taking that right there and moving forward to that submissive, the part that was really, really hard for me, like I said, having my upbringing saying, don't let no man run you. Mm-hmm. I didn't allow my husband to take the lead as a king. I wanted to wear the pants and the dress. I wanted to put on those spirits. Mm-hmm. I was out of order. Completely out of order to a point where I think in our community, in the Hebrew community, even for the sisters who don't know who they are, even for the ones who, we have to let that stigma go. Like, you have to be strong. You don't let no man run you. We have to remember where we come from. Where did Eve come from? Eve came from Adam. No time said he made us for the man, not the man for us. So just that all the part trying, it was hard for me to let that go in a sense where I wanted to take the lead. I wanted to make all the decisions and whatnot. And when I actually learned, and when my husband was so patient with me, teaching me the Bible, learning how to, break down precepts, he made a rule in our home every night. We're not going to lay down every night without reading and studying the scriptures. And he built my daughter and I up just by doing that. And the moment you start applying, because it's one thing to say we're Hebrew women. It's one thing to say we're Proverbs 31. It's one thing to say, hey, we are, this is my king, she's my queen, or whatnot. I'm a wife, I'm a mother. But it's a whole nother element when you start applying. When you take those laws and you apply, and when you actually apply what you're reading, this is what we start seeing a change in our marriage. This is how we're actually falling in love all over again. And I'm talking about, we're not talking about like love to a point where people or sisters really think love is always about sexuality and intimacy. Let's talk about that spirit, that spiritual intimacy. You rather make my spirit, you make love to my spirit, grow me in ways where you let me, it's to a point where we start realizing, man, that with no more arguing, as the scripture say in Rock 25:1, which is one of my favorite scriptures. I'm just going to give you an overview of it, where it's just saying the Most High takes pleasure in, it's beauty in his eyes when a husband and a woman on one accord both agreeing. So we saw where it's actually the Most High had begun to fill our home with his spirit, with the Holy Spirit. I just can't even, I can't put it in the words, like, it was like love at first sight all over again the right way. Then making the Most High and Christ the foundation in our home, and again, holding myself accountable as a woman, as a wife, because being a wife is just not just about a title. Being a wife is just not, you don't want to just be a trophy wife. You just don't want to take a picture saying this is my husband, I'm this. No, you actually want to make sure that you are doing what the Most High requires you as a wife.
Yes. So if I can just kind of,
you're fine, sis, go ahead.
What advice would you give to sisters who are, not only, because you've given me a lot of great, advice in my walk, in my journey, and I'm truly grateful for that. And, I just want to know, what can you tell, like, some of the viewers, even the people, sisters who may see this and, may be struggling in that area of submissiveness. Like, what advice, and I know it's going to be scripture based, but what advice, could you lend to a sister?
Okay, even for, are you talking about the married sisters?
Married sisters right now, for married sisters, yes.
Okay. Allow yourself to take it at a day at a time, but also don't be that wife who's a nagger. I was a nagger, okay? I was such a nagger to work on you. One thing you want to know, that you can never change anybody but you. Work on you, meaning you have to examine yourself and fall in love with yourself. Know who you are. Know what you can bring to your marriage. Know where your weakness is. When you feel your weakness in your marriage, go to your husband and say, hey, this is what I see. Because this is something my husband and I do often. We sit around and we make a list. We make a list of the pros and cons that we see in each other, and we exchange those, and we hold each other accountable when we see that, hey, that's a con, that's a weakness I see. You said you're going to work on that. Accountability, and you can't do it by yourself, Let that stigma go, that prideful spirit say, I'm not going to let my husband know I'm dealing with this, or Most I really do not like a prideful spirit. So yes, I would actually say, take time to reflect on, start actually. Most I'm going to show it to you. You're not going to be convicted about things. Don't sweep it under the rug. I grew up with a lot of generations of my parents, my grandparents don't want to discuss things in the home. Start speaking. Start praying with your husband. So as for my married sisters, hold yourself accountable and know that this journey, your journey of being a wife, know that you are not perfect. Be your husband peace. Be your husband peace. I cannot express it enough. In order for you to be your husband peace, you must know your role. You must then take your role and actually do it with the best effort that you can be. That effort that you had, the effort when you made sure that you was tight from the head to the toe when you in the world, you're ready to go to a party.
Right.
Convert that. So my number one actually advice would just be hold yourself accountable and actually allow the Most High to show you what your weaknesses is as a wife.
All praises.
Well, sis, you were kind of speaking to me because I just transitioned out of that. A lot of sisters, you have some that nag and they know they're nagging. And you have some that they nag and they have no clue. But they're putting themselves above their husbands and they're not honoring their husbands the way the Most High tells us to honor them. You think that you're doing it all, but not realizing it's not your job to do it all. So what you said, it really touched my soul because it took me to love myself in order to know how to love that man correctly. And I just want the sisters to know that you are speaking nothing but the truth. Look, Kanai's all in the comments telling me don't cry because she know I'm a crier just like her, sis. And the nuggets you are dropping, you have a living testimony right here. What she's saying, sisters, I hope that y'all jotting this down. I really do hope y'all are grabbing these jewels because a lot of times we don't know this. We don't know that we are being not submissive. We don't know that we're testing and going against our husbands with the little simple things, little teeny things. So all praises for that. All praises.
And if I may actually add to that, because once we start actually seeing our role as, or doing our role as being a submissive wife, you're going to see the peaceful state of mind come over you. You're going to see the Most High knocking down strongholds. You're going to see those blessings come. A lot of times you have to be, and when I say submissiveness, this doesn't have, it's so many different levels to submissiveness. It's not all about, hey, I'm gonna agree to everything you're saying, or I'm just gonna bow down, yes Lord, yes, no. I'm not talking about that, because one thing about it, like the scripture say, your husband should be treating and loving you like Christ loved the church. So they go hand in hand. But what I will say, be that Judas sometimes. You have to be that Judas, I know even for myself, never be afraid to, pull your husband aside and just let him know, hey, King, you're going off a little bit. I see your flesh rising up, get back on that train. Or like I tell anybody come to my door, I'm that Judas. I'm going to be right on my porch looking at iron out the spirits because I got to protect my house as well. I have to protect my children. I have to protect being the wife that I am to my husband. Sometimes we will see things before our husbands will, so. And never be afraid. Like the scripture say, never hide your wisdom. Never ever hide the opportunity to actually showcase and be able to speak on the wisdom that the Most High has given you. Now, if you just talking outside your neck and you just coming out, that's not going to be, that's invalid. That check there ain't going to cash, But staying within your role as a wife, sometimes you have to be able to. And I know a lot of sisters have a little weakness when they come to that because although you are married, and I say this with the most respect that I actually can have for all my sisters and all my brothers, you may be married and you're one a union. However, never lose yourself in a man. Never ever lose yourself in a man. And what I'm saying about that is, a lot of times sisters get married and they tend out to become that little quiet mice in the corner. Now, of course, we do have to be quiet and be meek and humble, but when I'm saying being a quiet mice in the corner means that you've lost your personality, you've lost the fact that you can't, you lost your voice as a woman, as a wife, you've lost your get up about yourself, you've lost your drive, you know, so being submissive, that doesn't mean that you're going to be a little turtle, you're creeping out, you know, you're going under your rock. Being submissive also has a lot to do with being able to, you know, talk to your husband about, hey, I see your flesh is rising up, calm down, let's go pray together. That is, a lot of times we don't know anything about, we talk about so much, I'm going to be that promise that I'm going to do whatever my husband tell me to do. So, you know, sometimes we have to be true. We have to really be truthful. Again, everything's in the Bible where we know that the devil will hop on a brother or a sister, and we have to be able to put that boldness on us and say, hey, come on, man, I see that the flesh has got, you know, the flesh, you see your flesh, you know, you have to do your job, whether, you know, at the end of the day, you can't hide behind your husband's fruits. You can't sit there and say, you're going to a grocery store and you got your husband got his basket of fruit and Christ is the cashier. You're going through the line. You say, and the cashier say, hey, where your fruits at? You can't sit there and say, oh, my husband got my fruits in his basket. It doesn't work that way. So what I'm saying is, learn your role.
Yes.
You know, do your role to the best of your ability, but also know. Never ever hide who you truly are, as you are a servant first before you was a wife. I yield.
So say I yield. Look, you know, sis, what I think is so powerful about, you know, just even this conversation and opening the door up for this conversation for married sisters and also for single sisters who are looking to be married, and you know, this is a part of that, you know, that teaching process for sure. But it's the example that you get. I don't even know if you actually gave it, but I don't know if you know that you actually gave it, but it's the example of, you know, how that submissiveness works when it's not righteous versus how it works when it is of the Most High and when it is in order. So I think that's just very powerful. And you know, yes, all praise. And you know, we of course, you know, we want to talk about your business. You just had a little one. You just had, you know, you're a mother of 3, and the title of this live, you know, that we was talking about was like the art of balancing, right? And I don't say that because I know you're gonna be like, I ain't no balancing. I already know. You're gonna be like, I ain't saying that. But you know, we just talking about wearing many hats, right? Just wearing many hats, being blessed to be able to have, you know, the role of a wife, the role of a mother, and a role of an entrepreneur. So, you know, how has your journey been with having children, you know, in this truth and trying to bring them up in this walk, and you know, denouncing the folly, you know, that is of the world, you know, these holidays and all of that. So, you know, can you kind of elaborate on that, and then we will get into, you know, your understanding of being vegan, because that's a real big part of this too. We definitely want to make sure sisters get the nuggets of health benefits through natural healing of the Most High. So we definitely gonna get in that, but if you can just kind of, you know, briefly touch on that subject.
All praise. I sure will. Balancing everything from, like you said, from me owning my business to me teaching, homeschooling my children, just having a newborn. He's now 5 months. Transparent. I'm a sister that's gonna be transparent with you. I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing. It's been challenging, very, very challenging. Again, as I mentioned early on, this walk is going to take a lot of support. This walk is going to take a lot of support to a point where never be afraid to ask for help. Never ever be afraid to ask for help. And even for me, by me having my 3rd child, I was that sister who was always afraid. Not even afraid, I would actually mask. Let me say it again. I would mask. And guys, I know what I'm talking about. I would mask as if I don't need no help. I'm good, you know. And I know I need help. You know, my tongue hanging out my mouth. I'm like, look, but somebody say, how you doing? So, no, I'm doing fine. That's not good. That's not healthy. That is not healthy, you know. So this is where sisterhood comes in, okay? So, like the old folks used to say, it takes a village to raise your children. It takes a village to raise just one child. Now, I got 3. So I'm looking on this live. I see about 8, 9, so come on in. But seriously, it's been challenging, and I really, like I said, you have to actually know. That is why building is important. You know, that is why you being a sister keeper is important, because being a mother and being one that you just had birth, I went through postpartum depression this time around like never before. You know, this is a topic where we have to shed light on wholeheartedly, respectfully, and being and empathizing with our sisters, because it took me to a point where, although my husband was a great support, he's a man. He don't understand. He wouldn't understand all the areas, the elements that come with postpartum depression. So guess what I had to do? I had to put my pride aside, because I was tired of because everything is spiritual. We're going to be real. It may be a professional or medical name for this, but it's a spirit. You know, this is all a spirit. So I got tired of the spirit attacking me in so many areas, in so many ways, where it actually it affected the way I spent time with my children, the way I handle my business, the way I handle just myself alone. You know, so it took to a point where I had to call on my sisters. I had to call on Kalaya. I had to call on Yenisai. I had to call on my mother for one. You know, it's challenging, but again, when you have the right support, okay. When you allow yourself to slow down, sit down, rest, you know, that's the problem I always have. I used to tell Yanisai all the time, man, I don't like laying around the house. Yanisai would tell me, look, laying around the house don't mean you just laying. You can lay down a little bit. You can prep your foot on the couch and watch your TV. I'm like, no, man, I got stuff I got to do, man. He's like, look, you need to sit down, you know. So and it takes some edification. Edification, when it comes with the right spirit, that's nothing but true love. You know, so yes, it's challenging, because I can remember I actually I asked my husband, could I go out and run some errands? My baby probably was maybe three months, maybe even 2 months at the most. I needed to run some errands real quick. And he said, oh yeah, I got it. I got the children. Go ahead. The moment I stepped in that door, my husband said, man, I feel sorry for you. I feel sorry for you. He said, I'm not saying it in a bad way. He said, but I mean that in the sense where I appreciate everything that you do. How you do with these 3 children, how you actually, you have to teach them every day. You have to, you cook and stuff like that. It's challenging. And you have to know that everything, most not gonna make you work for everything. So when you're saying you want to be that one, or you want children, make sure you are ready for that, because it's a lot of that comes with responsibility. And like I said, putting that pride to the side. You know, me having 3 children, it hit different on that third one. The second one, yes, I know it was we're here now. You know, you first one, you know, I wasn't in the truth then, but I take pride in. I take so much pride in being a mom now, because I can hear my child say, mama, mama, mama. And I'm like, man, Father, you allow me, you pick me out of everybody, out of all you pick me out of any other sisters to birth children. Again, the scriptures tells us, you know, a woman going to get there, in a sense where it's saying through childbearing, they're going to get their, you know, their glory and whatnot. I'm chopping up Salapio, forgive me for doing so, but we have to know, as a mother, the Most High has put so much, He requires so much of us as a mom, as a mother. You know, who I am and, taking my walk so seriously.
Yes.
My husband and I actually decided like 4 or 5 years ago, hey, we're going to pull our daughter out of school.
Mm-hmm.
At that time she was third grade. Not knowing how, I was working full time. I was like, man, no babysitter, nothing. How we going to do this, My husband said, hey, we just going to walk out on faith. Just go on and withdraw her. Withdraw her from school, and we're going to make that thing happen. This journey takes a lot of sacrifice. This journey takes a lot of sacrifice, and most times going to test you. How bad do you want it? How bad are you you going to show the Most High that, the children don't belong to you. You're just a supervisor over your children. These are my children. So how you're going to treat my children, how you're going to rear them up. Again, the scripture tells us, train them up in the way that they should go. Train them up. Let them know who they are, But you can actually say something, but again, these are children. Children, they only gonna learn through their environment what you're doing. So children they're gonna listen to what you're saying, but they're gonna watch and they're gonna do what you're doing.
Yes.
So being able to actually finally get to where we can actually pull our child out of the school system, still working full time, and I actually was pregnant at the same time with my second child, and I pulled my oldest child out of school. It felt so much peace, it felt so much peace because even when she was in the school system, it doesn't mean you make excuses. That doesn't mean you make excuses as a mom saying, well, my daughter, she in school, they got Valentine's Day. It's okay. Ain't nothing I can do about it. Oh, they got that Christmas party. Oh, it's okay. Well, you don't celebrate Christmas. You shouldn't go to the program. No. What we had to do, I actually crafted up a letter that I had every year, to actually, the letter actually entails, hey, my daughter, these are the days that she will be out. We are observing our holy days. This is what she cannot do. She will not do no pledge of allegiance. She will not celebrate no Christmas program. No birthdays. Anytime y'all are having these type of events, pull her away. Whether it be take her to the light there, take her to the front office. She is not going to indulge in any of these paganism. These pagan days. And saying this to say that, we have to make sure that we think about our children. Because our children, they are the ones that we seeing now. There's been a shift in the atmosphere now. The adversary is now attacking our children.
Yes.
Harder and harder. So you have to teach your children how to fight spiritually.
Yes.
Not about the physical fight. Teach them how to fight spiritually and how to be aware and how to recognize demons and just recognize the spirit. So being able to show the Most High, look, I'm going to give you, like it tells us in the scripture, seek the Most High 10 times more. Seeking Him more is also when you know your children is in a public school. Do what you got to do. No, don't make excuses like I can't teach him. I ain't no teacher. Yes, you are a teacher. You're a mother. You're a teacher. You're a sister. You're a teacher. You're a wife. You're a teacher. So being able to know the Most High will give you everything according to Matthew 6 and 33. When you're seeking the kingdom first, He's gonna add everything along with that. So just gonna wrap that up in that section when
again we want to thank Sis K. Thank you so much for coming on. Those jewels. Did y'all hear her?
Yes, all praises. And it's just powerful to be able to hear, and this is the whole point of this. Your walk is powerful. What we all have different journeys, and I know we all, I know some more y'all out there got stories and testimonies and just different experiences that has shaped who you are right now, in this truth. And we want to hear it because guess what? That's going to help the next sister that's coming in.